You see the headlines about missiles flying between Iran and Israel, and it's easy to think, okay, this is just modern politics. But what if that's only one chapter in a much, much bigger book? In this explainer, we're going to peel back the layers to find the three very different stories, geopolitical, familial, and even prophetic, that are all fueling this one conflict. So, let's dive in.
And here's the thing you've got to understand right off the bat. This was not always a story about enemies. Not at all. In fact, for a while, they were friends, close partners even, which leads to the real question we've got to ask. How on earth did two allies become such bitter, sworn enemies?
To answer that, we have to start with the most recent story, the one that really kicked off just over 40 years ago. This is the story of a modern political rupture, a total earthquake that basically redrew the map of the entire Middle East.
I mean, just look at this. It's like night and day. Before 1979, Iran was run by the Shah. It was a monarchy, a key ally of the United States, and get this, Israel's second most important strategic partner in the region. Then, boom, the Islamic Revolution hits. The country becomes a theocracy under Ayatollah Khomeini, and it does a complete 180. It becomes fiercely anti-American and ideologically dedicated to the destruction of Israel.
And this wasn't some slow drift apart. It happened almost overnight. In 1979, one of the first things the new regime did was hand the keys of the Israeli embassy over to the PLO. Then the U.S. hostage crisis made that break with the West permanent. And just a few years later, by '82, Iran was already on the ground in Lebanon, creating proxy armies like Hezbollah specifically to fight Israel. The bottom line is the political fight we see today started right here, in this revolutionary moment.
But if we stop there, we are missing the most powerful part of the story. Because this modern political hate didn't just come out of nowhere. It actually tapped into a much, much older story. A story that some people believe goes back 4,000 years.
And this brings us to story number 2, A Tale of Two Brothers. This isn't about geopolitics. It's about family. It's an ancient story of promise, jealousy, and rejection that acts as the deep, emotional fuel for the fire we see today.
So it all starts with Abraham. God gives him this incredible promise. You will be the father of a great nation. Amazing, right? Well, there's a huge human problem. His wife Sarah can't have children. They're old. It seems impossible. You've got this divine promise crashing right into a human dead end.
So Sarah, trying to solve this, comes up with a human solution. She tells Abraham to have a child with her servant, Hagar. And they do. Ishmael is born. But this just creates bitterness and jealousy. Then years later, the miracle happens. Sarah, against all odds, gives birth to Isaac, the son of the promise. And to make sure Isaac gets everything, Sarah demands that Hagar and her son Ishmael be cast out into the wilderness. The family is just tragically ripped in two.
And this right here is the fork in the road. Both sons get a blessing, okay? Ishmael is promised that he'll also become a great nation. But, and this is the crucial part, the text says that only Isaac, Sarah's son, inherits the specific, unbreakable covenant that leads to the nation of Israel. So you have shared blood, but two totally separate destinies. It's the ultimate setup for a rivalry that would echo for thousands of years.
Now here is the mind-bending twist in all this. Modern Iranians are Persians, they're not Arabs. They're not biologically descended from Ishmael. But after the 1979 revolution, the new Islamic Republic essentially adopted the story of Ishmael, positioning themselves as the new champions for the Arab and Palestinian cause against the lineage of Isaac. It's like they inherited the ancient family wound and made it their own.
Okay, so we have the modern political story and the ancient family story. But there is a third way to look at this, a third lens that says this isn't about politics or even just family drama, it's about destiny. What if this entire conflict was already written down?
And this leads us to our third and final story, the prophetic arc. In this version of events, ancient Iran, which the Bible calls Persia, plays this shocking dual role in a huge divine drama that's all centered on Israel. Just look at this incredible contrast. On one side, you have Persia as the hero, the redeemer. King Cyrus is actually prophesied by name to free the Jews from Babylon and even pays to rebuild their temple. Later, wise men from Persia are the very first non-Jews to come and worship Jesus. But there's a flip side, a dark side. In the story of Esther, a Persian official tries to commit genocide against the Jews, and most importantly for today, ancient prophecies say Persia will join a massive coalition to attack Israel at the end of days. And we're not talking about vague hints here. The prophet Ezekiel, writing over 2,500 years ago, literally names Persia as a key player in a future alliance that will swarm Israel like a storm. So for people who read today's events through this prophetic lens, the headlines aren't a shock. They're an ancient story coming to life.
So, let's pull all these threads together. We've got these three powerful, overlapping stories: the political, the familial, and the prophetic. What does it all mean for what's happening right now?
Well, to really get a handle on this conflict, you have to see all three stories playing out at the same time. You've got the geopolitical chess match that started in 1979, fought with drones and proxies. Underneath that, you have the raw emotional power of a 4,000-year-old family wound. And then, woven through it all, is this powerful belief that everything we're seeing is part of a pre-written, divine script reaching its final act. These aren't just background details. They are the very things that shape identities and drive nations to act.
And that leaves us with one last massive question. When a conflict is this layered, when it's fueled by such powerful and competing stories about the past, the present, and the future, who gets to write the final chapter?